Hello, hello. Hey, Blaine. I was hoping somebody would be in here. It says there's nobody in here, no likes, but I better start talking before whatever. So, we are looking at the sun. Hey, Dennis, thanks for hopping in. We're looking at the sun through the smoke from Canada. Ironically, British Columbia, Alberta, and not Ontario, Saskatchewan, they all basically caught on fire the same day. I don't know if anybody knows about the YouTube channel Dutch Sense. It sounds just like it, or spelt just like it sounds, Dutch Sense. He's a earthquake guy. He's out of Missouri, and I mean, I believe a bunch of stuff that most people probably don't believe, and that's whatever. I don't care if you believe it or not, but those fires, I believe, were intentionally set for a nefarious purpose, and that's all I'll leave that at. But anyway, on Thursday, the wind shifted and the smoke blew into where we are. And it is thick. Not so, I mean, it's not the worst it's been right now, but like, it's there for sure. Kirk was supposed to be here. Hopefully he shows up. I've only got about maybe 18 more minutes. I have to go in at 8 o'clock our time and do bedtime with the little guy. But until then, I am about ready to have an old Milwaukee with y'all. It's Cold Snack 30. That's for everybody. If you're under if you're under 21, well, this beer's for you. You like Old Mills? I'd never had them until I got here. And they don't actually sell them west of Rapid City, South Dakota. That's per their website. I actually looked it up. I am normally a water guy too, Dennis, but you know, sometimes you gotta have a couple of cold snacks just to, you know, just two. What do you guys like, have a specific water you like? We have water at home. Chehalis has really shitty water. I mean, it has so much chlorine in it that when you turn it on, like, you can smell the chlorine. And it is so bad that nobody drinks the water. Like, everybody either buys bottled water or has it delivered in Chehalis. It's just one of those things because it's so salty and bad. So we have water delivered. We have a siphon fed water dispenser, but we get distilled water and it tastes so good. Like, it's just so clean and just like, it's the best like water I've ever drank. And here in Rapid City, the water is poor quality because of the Air Force Base. And so everybody that has wells here have like 3,000 foot deep wells because the water is that bad. And where we are, is one of the last places that is still, or that is serviced by the actual city of Box Elder's water supply. Like, so they were gonna do a well here, and then when they found out they had to go 3,000 feet down, it was gonna be many thousands of dollars to put that well in. They said, screw it, we'll hook on to the city water since it's here. But they have two different filtration systems in place. And then we have a third one off of the spigot that is going into our trailer. And the water in there is still just not, it's not good to drink. I mean, it's so soft, and it's just not good. Like, we have a portable ice machine that we get at Costco, and it's really crazy what the minerals do to ice. When you use regular tap water, even 3 times filtered, and the ice makes it's cloudy. But if you use distilled water, the ice is clear. Random thing we learned once we got here, because we've only ever used distilled water in it until we got here. Oh yeah, you gotta have ice. Even with the water cooler, you still gotta have it. And actually, the idea for the ice machine, the portable ice machine, came to me while we were in the hospital in 2020 when we were having our son. It was during COVID, and you couldn't go anywhere. Like, I was stuck in the hospital for 5 days because I could only leave once a day and come back once, and I never wanted to use that up in case I really needed to go somewhere. And so had a lot of time on my hands to just think, and Tina always was drinking a lot of ice water, and she just loves hospital ice, and I was like, man, that'd be like so sweet if we could get like one of these dispensing machines that the hospitals have, because it has like water and that, you know, the whatever, like the ice that Sonic has, whatever that is. And next thing I know, I'm on Amazon looking up ice machines, and we found like 3 different kinds. And so we got one, and it goes on the countertop, and it makes you ice, and it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's like a couple $100, but like the first one we got, we burned it up because we didn't realize like they're not meant to run like all day and all night without ever being turned off. And so we kind of like burned up the little fan motor like really early. And so we went to Costco for the next one, because if something goes wrong with it, you can take it back. We keep the receipts, and then we've warrantied out 2 so far. Hey RH, I am in Box Elder, South Dakota, just east of Rapid City. We are here for, well, till about mid-July. Then we're gonna go see some friends in Minnesota, come back through North Dakota. It's for work. My wife's best friend, her and her husband bought 40 acres here a couple of years ago, and are getting ready, or I don't say getting ready. They have an organic lettuce farm. They have a greenhouse, which is right there. There is the greenhouse that makes all of the organic lettuce that the Rapid City, South Dakota area is currently purchasing. And So some early April, I think it was, they proposed an idea that we come out here and work for them for a couple of months, help out on the farm, because they're just like getting started here. And since I had basically lost my job due to our business closing, or that I worked for closing, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna bring my detailing gear with me and I'm gonna knock out some cars while I'm here. Well, back home mobile detailing works. Out here it really doesn't, because the thunderstorms are so unpredictable and it's just not really a thing here. And so I went and got a job last week at a detail shop in Rapid City, and so I now work 8 to 5, 5 days a week for a very busy detail shop. And they know I'll be leaving in the middle of July. It's just I'm here, I need to work, and I have all my gear. So, like, that's what I'm doing, making the best of the whole situation. And like on Fridays, we stuff all these bags of spring mix. We make salads and all that stuff, and then go to the farmer's market on Saturday, and we sold 250 bags of salad yesterday and 30 dozen eggs. They also are organic egg producers here, like South Dakota licensed. So they are definitely planning for a big future. They have 40 acres here, and this is just the first of, they want 10 total greenhouses, so for all kinds of different stuff for year-round production. So yeah. Nicholas, what is happening? Basically, for those of you that have not been on one of my lives before, the direction you're kind of looking at is where Ellsworth Air Force Base is. I don't have rules, Nick. Remember? We swear here and drink Old Milwaukee on the air. But anyway, Ellsworth Air Force Base is in the general direction of which I am looking right now. And we do, during the week, get multiple flyovers per day. I think last Monday, we had 20. Yeah, Nick, I don't have rules, man. Like, I'm not Virtual Rail fan. I'll say shit and don't feel bad about it. We're all grown folks here, right? Yeah. Nobody, not nobody, but 5 of my friends. Oh, yes. Let me go grab it.
Before I go.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's gonna be like 80.
I know. Let me go grab it.
Okay, no rush, no rush.
I know, Robert. I was very bummed when I learned last week that Vaclav was coming out. I mean, I knew Carla was. I knew that before we even came out here. But, yeah. I actually couldn't really stand watching it yesterday, to be honest, because I wanted to be there so badly. Like, I miss home, like, for trains. Like, we're about 2 miles from the Rapid City Pier and Eastern Line. It's just right down the street, and I see what Robert called frac sand. They have cars full of frac sand and some grain cars that will sit. They'll sit down here for like a day or two with 4 engines. They're tied down, but I never know when there's movement. and so it's really hard to figure out their schedule. So I have actually not seen a train in person since that day that we had the 9-unit power move. It originally started as 12 and then ended up being 9. I think it was Vancouver to Everett, and I got it twice, like Winlock and Napavine, I think is where I got it. I chased it, and that's the last train I've seen, and that was almost a month ago. So I'm kind of like missing it when you're used to hearing 40 to 50 trains a day from your living room and have all the access in the world to drive a mile down the street to go see them, to absolutely really nothing. It's kind of wearing on a guy a little bit, but we're only here for a little while, and then we'll be going back home, and I'll get to see everybody. But yeah, I was pretty bummed about Vaclav. I really wanted to meet him, and I've seen some pictures of their adventures today, and I would have loved to have been on the road with that group of guys today in their travels. But we may actually end up moving over here. Don't know when. It won't be this year, that's for sure. But man, guys, the way of life here is more in line with me, and I don't really want to go back. I mean, we have to. There's multiple reasons why we have to, but it's like I don't really want to go back home. I like going to the grocery store and getting regular plastic bags and not have to pay 10 cents a piece for each bag. Or like at Walmart's now, and oh, you're right, Nick. It's Jay Inslee. It is totally Inslee and Bob Ferguson and all of the other Democrats in the state that have just. I don't really want to get into it, but Nick, I know you understand. I know you're a very smart young man, and I don't align with the way that things are going in that state anymore. Like, you can't even get a freaking bag at Walmart. We went to Walmart today, spent $150 on stuff. I came out there with like 13 freaking bags. Like, yes, that, Robert, it's a beautiful place. I'm from there. I'm from Bremerton. I've lived there all 40 plus years, 40, almost 41 years of my life. And I mean, that's my home, and I don't really want to leave. If the politics would change, it would be a much better thing. And it's, my friend Justin sent me a picture a couple of days ago of diesel in Shelton was $5.99. Oh yeah, the left coast for sure. $5.99 for diesel. I just paid $3.79 for diesel tonight. like gas is like $3.40 to $3.50 here. And the thing about Washington is we have like a $1.10 gas tax, and the whole state pays it. And if you think about how many people pump gas every day at $1.10 a gallon tax, then if you think about how many millions of dollars they're making a month, I would love an audit to see where our gas tax money goes. And that's no joke. I've thought that for years. Nobody will ever do it. But they say it's for, all the transit and all that other bullshit up in Seattle. But you guys that live in Washington have driven on plenty of roads that are just awful, right? In Chehalis, there's awful roads. If you drive on Market Street in front of the Safeway, you about damn near blow your ball joints out fucking hitting the road there in front of the Safeway. It's like, why won't my gas tax dollars fix these roads, right? Like, we should have the most pristine roads in the freaking country, but we don't. You come over here, guys, it's South Dakota, man. You've got miles of dirt and gravel roads. Okay, we're 1.7 miles off of a paved road to get to where I'm standing. It's all dirt, gravel. The speed limit is 50. Okay, you can easily go 60 if you want to. It's a little, you start floating around and getting a little crossed up at 60. But like, these roads are more well maintained out in the country of South Dakota than the city roads are anywhere in Washington. It is just mind-blowing. Last weekend we just had 6 inches of rain over 3 days, and one of the big roads right out here that is just to the right of the screen here, it got tore up pretty bad. There's no way you could really go over 30 miles an hour on that road, and it's a 50-mile-an-hour road. They freaking came out on Wednesday and regraded and graveled the whole road, and it is like laser straight, perfect. You can easily do 55 plus just skirting on this dirt. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, they do things so much better here. South Dakota is a no concealed weapons permit state. You can conceal carry anywhere, anytime without a permit. Like, I don't agree on the no helmet rule, or the no helmet for motorcycles. I feel like, you know, it's 2023. I think personal safety should be I think riding a motorcycle, you should be wearing a helmet. But there's just so many things that are different and better here. Okay, well, the sun disappeared, and I need to go recharge an air conditioning system here. You know what, Robert? I don't know what the minimum wage is. I haven't actually asked. I'm flat rate, so... Oh yeah, Kristi Noem kicks ass. I'm flat rate, so I actually don't know what the minimum wage is. But anyway, our host is going on a road trip to Denver for the next couple 3 days, and I need to go put a can of AC recharge in her Explorer, which I forgot to do earlier. So I wanted to keep going, but I have got to go do that. What state? I am in South Dakota. Rapid City area. It's like there's about 90,000 people. About 90,000 people here, but the city is so spread out that it doesn't feel like it at all. There's no traffic in the morning. It's very relaxing compared to, like, even driving in Chehalis or Centralia or Olympia or Tumwater or wherever. Like, but anyway, yes, good night, everybody. I do have to, I gotta skedaddle. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I'll try to do this again in a few days. I'm obviously not doing it every night, but when the sunsets look good and I have a few extra minutes, I do plan on going live just to bullshit with everybody and to stay in touch. So, Robert, Dennis, I don't think Blaine's in here anymore. Nick, anybody else that I'm forgetting, thank you, and I will see you all later. Good night.